So this section is on the right triangle definitions of trigonometric functions. It's also sometimes called Sohcahtoa. You'll see why in a second. So what these definitions are is if you have a right triangle, we can call this angle theta. This is the side opposite to it, so we'll call it op. This is the side adjacent to it, so we'll call it adjacent. And this is hypotenuse, so we'll call it hypotenuse. So what this means is, so sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. And we can see that's in keeping with this first part of the memory trick, is sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Next definition is cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And the next part of the definition is tangent equals opposite over adjacent. So tangent theta equals op over adjacent. So, and also we have the co-functions, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. And according to these definitions, cosecant theta. So since they're the reciprocals of these functions, we can find their definitions by just taking the reciprocals of these. So cosecant is hyp over opposite, and secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. Cotangent equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And so, what would a problem using Sohcahtoa look like? If we have a right triangle, and this is a 45-degree angle, and this side length is 3. What is, or, one second, sorry, this side length is 3. Then what is h, the hypotenuse? So we can use sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Using that, we can find that sine 45 equals 3 over h. Now if we multiply by h and divide by sine 45 on both sides, we get h equals 3 over sine 45. And if we evaluate sine 45, we can use our calculator to do that. And, oh, actually, this is not one we can actually use our calculator for. When we evaluate this, we get h equals 3 over square root of 2 over 2. And then we can simplify the side of the equation by multiplying by 2 over 2. h equals 6 over radical 2, multiply by radical 2 over radical 2. h equals 6 radical 2 over 2. And then we can simplify this and get h equals 3 radical 2. So there's also the inverse functions of, sorry, I just missed that. So there's also the inverse functions of sine, cosine, and tangent, which are sine, the arc sine, that arc cosine, and arc tangent. So the way these are defined is if sine of theta equals x, arc sine of x equals theta, and same here, sine of theta, x, and same with arc tan. And so we can use our calculator to evaluate these, and this can come up a lot of times in trigonometry problems, for example. We have a triangle. This side length, right triangle, this side length is 3, this side length is 4, and we have to find what the angle measure of theta is. What we can do is, we know tangent of theta equals 4/3. So in order to find what theta is, we can use the definition of arctan. So theta equals arctan of 4/3, and using our calculator right here, let's make sure it's on degree mode, because that's what we're using. And $53.1. So that's how you would use arctangent, and that's it that you need to know for Sohcahtoa.